host, Quentin. We are traveling from the north of Canada to the south of Argentina. We are right now in Mexico. So it's been 9 months now that we are traveling, and that is our home. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you our actual setup and all the gears we have to travel and camp, because we're mostly camping. Okay, let's get started. We just arrived at the camping spot, so while the bikes are still fully loaded, I'm gonna show you a little bit how we organize everything on the bikes themselves. Starting with mine. So the first thing here is a music bag. It's absolutely not made for motorcycle, it's just a bag and we roll the straps around, and that's everything we want accessible. So we have all our rain gears, so rain jackets, rain pants, and covers for the motorbikes, as well as a cover for my phone, a little umbrella, and that's also where we put some groceries or lunch. I also have my tank bag. In my tank bag I have all my camera gears. So I'm gonna make a full video on my camera gears because I feel I have a lot to say about it. But the tank bag itself is it's a Kappa, I think, and this is a pretty cool one because it's waterproof and it's with magnets, so I can easily take it off and use it as a backpack, and like there's pressure thing in it. Every time we stop, I take it off, and that takes a few seconds every time. It starts to break down a little bit. I need to fix it, but yeah, otherwise I feel like I'm very happy with it. On that side, so we have my two saddlebag. They are rackless saddlebag by Nelson Rig. They're not bad. I am not fully satisfied with them because they start to break down. I feel they're ideal for weekend or shorter trip. For such a long journey, they're not solid enough, but they are quite spacious, so that's pretty cool. And we have all our clothes. So on the left side I have all Quentin's clothes, and on that side I have all my clothes plus one battery. Because here I have a little plug to charge the battery, the big battery, while we're riding. Then we have my big backpack, so that's a hiking backpack because I've been a backpacker before being a rider. And we kept it, and we like going on a hike. So yeah, that's not really made for motorcycle, but there's everything. And in my backpack I have the toilet bag, I have the first aid kit, I have the light and the little stuff to camp. I have a yoga mat. We have a travel yoga mat, so very thin, that we use to do yoga, but also to put under a mat when we sleep. It's one more layer of insulation, so I felt that's quite good. And that's also all our luxury items. So I have stuff that you probably don't need, as a tattoo gun and a little thing to roast coffee. And I have some warm clothes, but because I have the battery here, all my clothes didn't fit. I have also the 10 liters bag, the coffee kit here, so same, I think I'm gonna make a full video about it because there's a lot to say about it. And on the other side I have the jerry can and the cover of my bike. So that is my organization. Quentin's bike. So we have the same system here with the music bag with all the rain gears and some lunch stuff. And then his tank bag is different. This is from Shad. This is a very big one, and he puts in it all the tools and spare parts for the bike. So we have the extra tubes, we have the engine oil and all the tools. So that's important that is big because we have quite a lot of stuff. Then here we have the panniers. We actually bought the bike with the panniers from Royal Enfield, and that's our kitchen. It's quite big because food is important for us. We love cooking. So in one side we have all the actual food, so a lot of dry food, and we have some fresh food. And on the other side we have all the equipment, so pan, pot, stove, etc. I'm gonna show you all in detail a little bit later. And actually it's quite good to have that in the panniers because there's a little bit of insulation in the panniers, so the fresh food stays fresher, because we have to deal without a fridge. Then we have his hiking backpack as well, that he covers with the covers of the bike to make it extra waterproof. In the backpack there's all the camping gears, so tents, sleeping bags, sleeping mats. That's basically it. It's all in his backpack here. And then we have this case, which is a waterproof and shockproof case where we put the 2 laptops and my hardware disk. We bought it quite cheap on Amazon, but honestly, I'm very happy with it. It's solid, it's really waterproof, so it's great. And then he has a small backpack. I do wear a backpack while riding with some water and batteries for my camera. He doesn't, so he put his small backpack here, and in it there's all the cable plugs and stuff and the coffee beans. So that's, I have the coffee equipment, he has the coffee bean. We're a team when we need to make coffee. Then we have the tap that is stuck with just a little net like that. Okay, let's unpack everything and start setting up. And I forgot to mention, on my handle I have a phone holder from Quadlock and a GoPro holder, and Quentin has a phone holder from GB. So that is our water bag. This is Pioneer 10 liters by Hydra Pack. This is actually perfect for what we need. We, I think, use 10 liters per day to cook, drink and wash ourselves, so everything fits in that, and when it's empty it doesn't take any more space. So, and it's solid. We didn't have any problem in the 9 months, so I'm very happy with that water bag. Yes, the footprints.
What?
The footprints?
Yes, let's see that.
Yes. That was good.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's...
You never see that? No. Okay. So this is our tent. This is the Adventure tent by Lone Rider, and it's actually new for us. It's only the second time we camp in it because our previous tent broke. This is a 2-man tent, but it's a little bit more spacious than a hiking tent for the same capacity, because it's really made for motorcycle travelers, so there's more space for storage. It's actually very well made. I feel like I really love how there's a lot of pockets. It's made by people who travel and you can really feel it. There's a repair kit already included, there's the ground cell already included. It's fully waterproof, and it's very compact, so we could actually also go and hike with it. So yeah, very, very happy. I felt like the ideal tent for that kind of adventure. So that's our 2 yoga mats. They're from Lululemon. They are very thin, so we don't need to roll them, but we can just fold them. And we use it for extra insulation under our camping mats. So for the sleeping bag, Quentin and I have different system. I had way too many holes in my inflatable mats, so now I just have a foam. It's a little bit more volume, a little bit less comfort, but at least it will never break.
Yeah, mine is just an inflatable mattress from Decathlon. I like it because it's quite compact, as you can see, and just a little bit of effort, a little bit of air in there, and you have a comfortable bed.
That's our 2 sleeping bags. Mine is from Decathlon and Quentin's is from Kathmandu, which is a brand from New Zealand. They are not the best sleeping bag, but they're good enough. They are comfortable until 0 degrees Celsius, which I think is a lie. I would say it's comfortable until maybe 5. Yeah, under 5 it starts to be very cold. But yeah, that's what we had it before starting the trip, and that works. And we pair actually the sleeping bag with a liner. So mine is a thermarest, and Quentin has a silk one from Kathmandu as well. And that adds some degrees. It makes a big difference when it's cold. And that also helps with smell, because we can wash the liner way more easily than the sleeping bags. Actually, I was wrong. My liner is not from Thermarest, but from C2 Summit, and that's a Thermolite, and I'm very, very happy with it because it makes a huge difference when it's cold, and it really adds some degrees, especially because our sleeping bags are not the best then. And yeah, it's a nice texture, it's breathable, it's washable, so I would really, really recommend to have a liner in your sleeping bag. And then we don't have any camping pillows, so we actually just using some cloth that we put under our heads to sleep, and that's good enough. And talking about clothes, let me introduce my whole wardrobe. This is a dry bag with all my underwear, swimming suit, beanies and stuff like that. I use a dry bag because you can compress it. I thought this is nicer. Well, I didn't have enough, so all my clothes, main clothes, are in this tote bag. And that is the battery I was talking about. This is an EcoFlow, and I can plug the laptop, the camera, the drone, everything that doesn't charge just with USB, because we have a USB charger on the handle, and we can charge everything else with it, and that's actually quite a powerful one. Yeah, I can charge several times my laptop when it's full, and it recharges in just an hour. When we ride, I can put it in the saddlebag here, and then the cable here is long enough to be plugged on the side, and in an hour the battery is full. So it's very, very handy, especially while filming and everything on the road. What I found make it easier when we have a very limited space of clothes is to wear mainly the same color. So my color is orange and red, and I feel like all my clothes have to fit with orange and red. And also, well, that won't work for everyone, but I mainly wear crop tops because they take less space and I can have more. And that's Quentin's wardrobe, so he packs everything in one big bag. And then last but not least of our camping gears, we have one camping chair, because Quentin didn't want any, and I was tired to have to sit on the panels, which are not the most comfortable. So I have this very tiny camping chair from Decathlon. It's quite cheap, and it's quite compact. So I'm very happy to have it. Hey, ta-da! Okay, I think it's officially lunch break.
I also got this axe from Leia as a birthday gift. It's actually quite handy if you want to have some firewood. Easy to chop off. Like, it's a little bit rusty, but it's not important that it's sharp. It's easy to put some force on it, and then you can easily have some firewood, and it's easy to pack. Plus it also makes you feel a little bit safer, you know, like you have an axe, bears or monsters. I have an axe now.
And talking about monster, we still carry our bear spray from Canada. There's no bears anymore, but I do like having it. I feel it's a good defense weapon. So yeah, we keep it accessible every time. Okay, I'm just gonna clean up a little bit the camp because I feel like we have stuff everywhere. This bag, by the way, is the bag where we put the tents. We're not using the original one from Lone Rider because I feel like it's just a bit easier to pack, to have the tent in one bag and the poles just on the side of the backpack. It's a compression bag from, and it's waterproof, and it's from C2 Summit, I believe. Yeah, C2 Summit. And I also have the toilet bag, so we share one, the both of us. It's just a toilet bag from Kathmandu again, this New Zealand brand. And you can hang it, so it's pretty convenient. put the toothbrush and toothpaste here, and up we have a bathroom. Oh, and something I forgot to mention in Quentin's backpack. First of all, we have the towel, the microfiber. Do you see microfiber? Yeah, so the microfiber towels, and we have a hammock with actually also a mosquito net. So that's a little luxury as well, but it's nice when we have the trees to put it. It was very nice to have it, especially in Canada when there were a lot of mosquitoes, because with the mosquito nets we could stay outside of the tent when it was hot, but still be protected by the from the mosquitoes. Something else that I forgot to mention, we have a pool bag with a very small foldable shovel from C2 Summit, and that helps leaving no trace at all when we camp in the wild like now. And as I mentioned, I'm gonna make a full video about my coffee equipment, but I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of my case because I think it's very cool. Ta-dam! Okay, let me show you the kitchen. Here, that is the food, so I will not go in details, so that we're using a lot of dry bags to keep everything sealed. And then I wanted to show you that this is our spices. So it just works with a little bit of Velcro, and we have salt, pepper, garlic and cinnamon here. And in this little pocket that works the same way, we have mixes of spices, mixes of herb already done, otherwise mixes that I've done before starting the trip. So we have a Mexican mix, a Mediterranean mix with some herbs, and an Indian mix. Here we go. And of course, because we're in Mexico, we have some tajín. Okay. Little jump in the future because I forgot to show you something very cool in the kitchen. We have the little whiskey flask. We have 2 whiskey flasks, one for cooking oil, one for soy sauce, and we have this bigger flask, it's half a liter, for olive oil. And this is so useful to actually carry some liquid. Okay, I already wanted to show you that. And this is all our equipment. So we have a Tupperware, very handy to cold soak some food. We have some resealable bags, empty here because it's always useful to have some. Some trash bags, obviously, never let any trace when you camp. Then we have a towel in microfiber for the dishes. For the dishes we also have a brush by MSR, which is very handy to scrub, and that's last forever. Talking about lasting forever, we have this sponge that I made years ago from old tie that I made from that I had in high school. I don't remember the name of that. I think it's a Japanese name. I put it, but it's very easy to make from old socks or old tie, and that makes a sponge that lasts forever because I just put it in the washing machine every time we do a load. What else do we have? That's the utensils, a pillar, a can opener, very useful. We have a camping spatula from MSR as well. A bottle opener, very important. We have spokes, we have one each. Quentin's spokes is from Tox, so it's in titanium, like it a lot. Mine is from MacPack, which is another New Zealand brand. And that's it. We usually have some chopsticks because it's very handy to steer with, but I don't know where they are. And in my pocket I also have always a opinel, so a little foldable knife. Made in France, please. We have the water system. So for the water system, we first have this little bottle, and a filter. So that's a filter Catadin it's called Be-Free, I believe, and we use it with this little Hydro Pack bottle because it fits with most of the Hydro Pack bottle. So that filters all the impurities. So for example, we could drink some water from a river or a lake thanks to that, but that doesn't purify the water. So if there's bacteria, if there's viruses, that doesn't work, that is not enough. So for that we do have some purifying pills in stock, and we also have something new since we arrived in Mexico. It's a SteriPen. So a SteriPen is this little tool. It's a purifying system that works with UV lights. So it's rechargeable with USB, and you just put it in your water, you put it on, and the UV light actually makes the viruses inefficient, something like that. So it's very useful. We actually use it to drink some tap water here in Mexico, where the tap water is not drinkable, but it's drinkable after that. The only thing is that doesn't change the taste of the water, which is most of the time very gross. So don't make coffee with that. What else do we have? And then we have the big thing. So we have a pot. Oh my god, okay. First the pan, it's easier to take off. So we have a pan. We started with a camping pan, so something very lightweight and foldable, but the thing burnt, I think, at the first use. And then we had to cook only in the edges because it was just a nightmare, and we do like cooking. This is a priority. So we invested in a cast iron pan. I'm very happy with it, honestly. It's very useful to cook over fire, and that's strong, that doesn't stick, that's just very perfect. That's the lid. We have a little foldable bowl. I don't know why we keep it, because there's actually holes in it. I'm just attached to it. I bought it in New Zealand. I don't know. We have a plate which is not broken, so that is a C2 Summit, but most of the time we actually eat in the pot, so that is not very useful. But we have that thing which is amazing. This is from Light My Fire, and this is both a chopping board and a strainer. So very, very lightweight and useful. I love that thing. Then we have camping pots. So that's a regular camping pot. That's just a 2-person camping pot. And mine is from Kathmandu, so still this New Zealand brand. I like it because it's optimized here to keep the warmth of the fire, so it gets hot faster. And then you have a foldable handle, and inside we keep a sink from C2 Summit. It's a 5-liter foldable sink, very useful to not pollute any lake or river when we do our dishes. So that is just that. We basically just taking the water from the river and do the dishes on the side. We actually pierced it very early on the trip, but I put some glue and duct tape, and that's holding for months now like that. So it is great. Okay, and the last we have the caps, just metal camping caps, and we have this thing here in this gross dry bag. We put it in a dry bag because we had a leak once, but it is our stove. That's the actual bag of the stove. This is a multi-fuel stove. That means it works with any kind of fuel, which is super handy. We use it mostly only with fuel, because we have the jerry can next to the bike. So we have put it in an old sock, but we have this is full of sand. Okay, last time we camped on the beach. This is a 0.6 liter bottle of fuel, and we fill it very easily with a jerry can. so we don't have to be careful of how long we cook and stuff like that, because that is very easy to refill and to find anywhere. That's why we do that, because the little gas bottle that goes actually still have the stove that goes on. That's a very small stove that I had before, still from New Zealand. This is very lightweight, this is very cool, but the little gas bottle that go under that, first of all, they are not easy to find everywhere. There's places where we cannot find it, and then that means it's a lot of trash to always throw away the bottles, because you cannot refill the small camping bottles. So yeah, we gave up that option. I kept the stove because I feel like that can be something to have two fire. I'm just gonna let the tractor pass. Okay, I think that's good. So back to this fuel stove. It's from Primus. There's one from MSA as well, which is very popular, but I've been recommended to use the Primus one that was a tiny bit more expensive, because the pump here is in metal, while in MSR it's in plastic, so it felt more durable. And that is the stove, so it's very basic. So yeah, that's it, and that comes with a little thing, like a piece of metal to protect from the wind. So I love that stove because it works all the time, and yeah, I don't have to like think about the menu to make something very fast to cook. I don't have to care about that. I don't have to worry about that. So that is very cool. And we do have a little repair kit from Primus, because we lost some pieces at one point. I don't know how. And yeah, and something broke. So it's cool to have a little repair kit, because it sucks to have your stove not working when you're hungry. That's about it. And with all that, we can make anything. Almost. Well, a lot of things actually. Okay, I think I show you everything we owned. Some might say that the bikes are heavily loaded, and yeah, I agree. They are heavy, but you have to take in consideration that we are not on holidays. We don't have a house somewhere in the world where we can stock stuff that we don't necessarily need or want to travel with. So this is everything we have. This is our home. And yeah, so there's luxury items, but because we are traveling for many years, and we do need a little bit of comfort and luxury item. And if you see it like that, I feel like we can actually call ourselves minimalist, because that is way less than the average of humans. So yeah, I'm not too unhappy with our setup. Okay, if you have any questions for the next videos about the coffee and the camera gears, please ask me. If you have any advice for travelers on motorcycle, same, please feel free to give them, because this is our way to travel, but there's many ways to travel, so feel free to give your own advice, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!